What's up, everybody? This is Derek from Four Sons Brewing, Huntington Beach, California. I'm going to give you a little tour of our production facility and kind of go over how we make beer. There's 4 main ingredients in beer: barley, hops, water, and yeast. So everything's gonna start with barley. There's many different types of barley that are kind of roasted and killed at different temperatures, which will give us different flavors as well as different colors. So if we're using like a light beer, we pretty much can use like very light malts, whereas a stout is gonna use really roasted, toasty malts, and everything in between to give us the color and the taste that we're looking for. So the first step is we're gonna take that barley and we actually wanna break it open to get to the sugars inside. Those sugars is what the yeast actually gonna turn into alcohol later on in the process. So we throw it through a grain mill, and that'll be taken to our mash tun using an auger system. The mash tun is basically where we're gonna take hot water, mix it with the grain for about an hour, which is gonna allow all the sugars from the grain to actually absorb into the water and kind of mix around. So we'll send the wort over to the kettle. The kettle is where we're actually gonna boil it, which is gonna kill off any organisms that may be floating on the grain, as well as help to concentrate that wort. At this point is when we're gonna add our hops. Depending on the beer is the amount of hops we're gonna use, whether if you're doing a really bitter IPA, it's gonna be a lot of hops added, versus light blonde is gonna have just a bit of hops. So that's about an hour in the boil. We send it to our third tank, which is a whirlpool. Essentially, all that is just gonna circulate the wort, which is gonna help all those hops and leftover grain proteins to kind of settle in the middle. At that point, we're gonna take it and pump it to our fermenters. We'll throw it through our heat exchanger, which uses city water as well as glycol water, which is at about 32 degrees, which will actually take that wort from boiling temperatures to 67 degrees, which is our normal fermentation temperature for most of our beers. Most of our beers will take about 10 days to get to final gravity as far as no more sugars left. A couple more days condition, all told, probably about 2 weeks for the average beer to get from grain to glass. Most of our tanks we have are 90 barrels, so about 3,000 gallons. So it takes us about 15, 16 hours. We do it in a day, so it's a long day to do one of those, but it's worth the work in the end. Once the fermentation is actually done, we'll send the beer to a bright tank, which is its only job is to carbonate the beer, pump CO2 in there, get it nice and carbonated. At that point, the beer is ready to go, whether it's going to kegs, bottles, cans, anything from there. Once again, this is Derek from Four Sons Brewing, Huntington Beach, California. Love to have you guys stop by and try one of our beers.